Well, good afternoon, Drake Barrels. You get me this week, I'm afraid, because the governor's still ill. So I will tempt your taste buds with some tasty treats. So let's... Oh, doorbell. Let's see who's here, shall we? Oh, it was the wandering drayman. He's just dropped off some beers for me. So let's get this party started. Listen, I said the governor's ill. He's not really ill anymore. He's just a bit drained, I suppose, from the COVID. He's still a little bit tired, It's kind of knocked him for six, this COVID business. So we'll hopefully he'll be back next week, and we'll be back with a proper podcast, not just the DrayMan, but the DrayMen's. But anyway, let's get this going. I have a beer the wandering drayman dropped off called the Get Me the Manager. Get me the manager, governor? It could be a drag, couldn't it? He's dragging about something, so get me the manager. And it's from the Brewing project, spelt slightly differently. And it's an imperial stout with cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and star anise. So it's kind of seasonal a little bit, So perfect for these cold days of winter. Looks thick. Look at that. It's really kind of thick, that one. So hopefully this will be a treat. But yeah, starting strong. I got a few beers for you this time around, folks. So I'm going to start with this one, and then I'll move on to the next one, and then I have one more to finish off. So let's go with this one first. No scent really to this one. Lovely artwork, isn't that cool? Look at that, eh? Monster. But no smell to it. So what we're trying to pull here, nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice. I mean, the cinnamon for me will probably filter through. So let's try this, shall we? Definitely cinnamon. I'm actually picking up the nutmeg quite strongly. Oh, fair play. I can really pick that up. Takes me back to the old days making apple pies with grandma and using the nutmeg. That's nice. That's kind of a creaminess to it on this one. I do like that one. I gotta say, I'm going to enjoy this.
Oi, get me the manager now. I want to speak to him about something.
Yeah, pretty darn good so far. So who are these guys then? What's the Brewing project about? Well, they are based out of Wisconsin. Actually, the town is called Eau Claire. Sounds very French. Eau Claire, Wisconsin. One of those northern states. And, sorry, chugging this one. My first today. But yeah, it wasn't Wisconsin where Colin went in Love Actually. I think it was actually Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I believe. Looked cold, very cold. So yeah, they've been going since May 2013. Very good, very informative website. There's a lot of history. Their kind of motif, if you will, is the Brewing Project mission is to create damn good beer, not beer that everyone will like, rather that many will love. I like that. Boring just isn't our style. If that's what you want, go somewhere else. Straight talking folks here, like that, telling you how as it is. So yeah, it sounds a pretty good brewery. And what I gather, have a look at the website, they have quite a bit of a story going on there. It sounds like they had a lot of obstacles put in their way, and it was a hard start for them. So have a look, it's a good website. You can have a look at their beers and what's going on. They are open all week, which is good. No days closed. So, varying hours, of course, for a lot of these breweries. So have a look. check them out. I'm going to try and get a few more beers from them. Obviously, good old Wandering Drayman dropped this one off for me today, but, you know, maybe you'll come across another one or two. But 10.3, be buggered. But yeah, the can, I love good artwork on cans, and, you know, me and the governor have talked about it a lot. You know, it really appeals to you. I think it's art, isn't it? It really is. I kind of like the slogan as well. It's kind of cool. But yeah, look at it, a nice kind of can shape as well. What are we looking at? 12 fluid ounces. I don't know how that equates to pints, but this is good beer so far. A few other beers that they do. They have one called, they do a lot of IPAs and sours, I noticed. That seems to be their big thing. I didn't see too many stouts. It's kind of cool to have a stout from these guys. Their Mighty Things is one of their signature IPAs. Have a look at that one. They do a lovely sour by the sound of it. I say lovely, I haven't tried it, but it's called Orange Drank. So I'm guessing it's kind of citrusy. So have a look at that one. And they also, somebody else delivering. They also do one is called West Coast. I see what they've done there. West Coast Ale, and it's a wheat beer. So that's one to check out as well. But like I say, most of them are all IPAs and sours. So have a look. You know, if you use the Untapped, plenty of beers there you can select and add them to your wish list, like I like to do. And obviously readily available. And yeah, recycle. But yeah, good brewery, and I'm enjoying this. I mean, for me, the cinnamon isn't really popping. Like I said, the nutmeg really comes through. I mean, star anise. I mean, I don't really know what that tastes like, I'll be honest with you. It's something I always add to my mulled wine when I make it at Christmas, but what does it taste of? What is star anise? Obviously, it's a spice herb type of thing, but don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. But yeah, let's give this a bit of a rating before we move on to round 2. I will give this, I mean, it's a good standard stout in my opinion. It doesn't pop for me. It's a standard 7 in my opinion. So cheers on that. Get me the manager. Cheers.
Oh, you had some star anise myself before. I don't know what it tasted like really. I got a strange taste buds me, old Bill, and I would say, if anything, milk. Milk comes to mind for some reason. I don't know. You know, it's an old taste, star anise, but I do like it. It kind of keeps me regular, I'd say.
Beer number 2, Dray Barrels, and I have for you, for your delight, I am sure, it is it's called Kaizen, and it was delivered by the Wandering Drayman on his doorstep drop earlier. Japanese style rice lager, 4.6%. Chalk it up. So let's get it down. I'm missing the governor. It just doesn't feel right doing all these without him. Hurry up. God damn. Hurry up. So yeah, get a pour on, shall we? Up. I mean, why am I trying to smell out of the can? I'm just going to smell metal. Let's have a pour and have a smell, you know? But, I mean, half the time they don't smell anyway, so. But it's fun. That isn't the moon. That's the lights. Like UFOs are descending on the acreage today. So, yeah. That last one was strong. So, Stubby Fucker. You know, I like the artwork. This is It's kind of a matte finish to it, but again, good artwork, like we talked in the last beer, my stout, you know, it's just kind of cool, but like a matte rather than a gloss finish on this one. Equal parts Brewing. They are out of Houston, Texas, so I've gone a bit more local than Wisconsin this time. 7 State. Didn't even smell that. There's no smell. Why do I bother? So yeah. Interesting. So this is actually a rice lager, and I'm going to talk a little bit about rice lagers in a little bit, just to kind of explain it, or maybe somebody will pop in and tell us a bit about it. But yeah, this is it's an interesting light lager, you know. You know, you get those European skunky lagers, it's very different. So yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's nothing popping for me right now. Nice and light, you know, pretty quick to drink. I could neck this straight away if I wanted to. But I wouldn't want to deprive you Dray Barrels, you good Dray Barrels, of this experience. So I'm not going to do this. Equal Parts Brewing started in 2016, like I said, Houston, Texas, where Mr. A, who we've often referred to, lives down there. I've been there myself. I've been to a wonderful craft beer convention, if you will. It was, yeah, well, it was. That's what it was. It was very good. All indoors. It was a big old arena, sports arena, and it was fantastic. You know, a lot of Texas breweries, obviously, a few out-of-state breweries, and yeah, it was a good fun. It was a fucking riot, actually. Some shenanigans, some piss-ups. I met an old Scot, an old sweaty sock, and yeah, we had a good time. It's definitely a fun place, Houston. And lots of breweries cropping up, so really that's one to check out if you are in Texas. So it's so you know, their spiel is: we champion thoughtful beer by being true to ourselves and creating an environment in which others can be too, celebrating the harmony between beer makers and the community that supports it. So they are a community, have a community theme going on there by the sound of things. Website's pretty good, you know, standard stuff. They are open all week. Have a look. What I did like about this website, I will give them kudos to this, is they really kind of highlight new beers, up and coming beers. So they have a section for the newest ones on the block, the new kids on the block. So I kind of like that, and I like the style and the layout. So that was good. I really like that. It's good, you know, clean looking and informative. So yeah, have a look at them. Have a look at their website. It's very, very good, and sample some of their beers. This lager though, it's okay. She is wondering, DrayMen's for getting it for me, but I think they probably have some better options out there. Nothing on you, mate. I appreciate every doorstep drop that you do, you know, but you know, it's hit and miss with beers, you know. If you've never tried them, who knows? But this is, I almost feel like you saw me and the governor and the Bravner last week having our podcast, and we had the garage beer, and we're like, oh, what is this garage beer? It's lager. But actually, I drank it over this. I gotta be honest. I don't even know if we rated that one. I can't remember, but that's gonna put me in a tricky rating situation there. But hey, look, I'll give it a go. So a few other beers they do, and I'm excited to try a few different beers from these guys. Equal Parts Brewing. They have a Pilsner. It's called Lager Beer. They have an IPA called Entropic. I'd like to try that, actually. I'd be excited to try their IPA and see where that kind of equates in the general scheme of things. They do, actually, this sounds interesting. It's called Intermezzo, and it is actually a berry flavoured sour, and they had I think 3 different berries in that, so that sounded nice, including blackberries and raspberries. I'd love to see a gooseberry sour. Me and my brother, Bumble, we used to pick a lot of gooseberries up on the hillside back in Wales. Tiny little things, you know, they're just like wee size, you know, but if you got a bunch of them in a big bowl, you could make a small pie perhaps, but imagine a beer with wimberries. I'll get the governor to look at that. Maybe there's something back in the homeland on that, you know. Who knows? That'd be fun. And they also, sorry, veering off subject. Now, this is something I saw on their website. It's new. They do a stout. This is the first stout on their list that cropped up, and it's called Black Rain. Like the sound of that. And it's at 11.1, chalk it up. That's a kind of a powerful, strong stout. So that'd be fun. I'll have to find that one. So keep my eyes open. But yeah, on this guy, I'll be honest, I'm not being rude here, but if I had a Foster's or Carling Label, I'd probably go to them than this. Look, it's rice beer, you know, it's light. It's going to be a 4 from me. That is a 4 right there for Kaizen Japanese style rice beer. So it is what it is. On to the next after a little bit of gumph on rice beer.
Yeah, it's Oberships here. Hello. If you're listening on the headphones, the DrayMen's nose asked me to do a little spiel on Japanese style rice lagers, and I knows a bit because I was out there for a while. I was on an old boat, one of those junks that they have out there, and we did some sailing with some Japanese folks, and I got to know these rice lagers, and fair play to DrayMen's nose, they gave me a lager, so I'm on a lager here now myself, and yeah, rice lagers, so they wanted to know a little bit about it, so I told them, look, rice lagers are like American lagers, American style lagers, they American style lagers, right, they're right, blended with rice as well, you see, and they make these lagers with rice, and so do the Japanese, and it's brewed with rice, in addition to barley, traditional, you know, and grain mix like traditional lagers do, you know, like European style lagers, you know, that's a different taste in itself, as you well know. Oh, I've had a nice Stella in my time, and I've had a nice lager out of Copenhagen. That was a nice one. I know what I was, no. But rice provides a fermentable sugar for the yeast that produces an alcohol. Well, it produces the alcohol, you know. But it also keeps the beer light, and that is the key. DrayMen's DrayMen, what do they call them? Dray bars, you dray bars. So yeah, that's the key to rice lagers, you know. So have a look for them. They're very nice. I'm Bill Ships out of Milford Haven Dock. That's rice lagers. So cheers. Astronaut Apocalypse. Last one, folks. Last one. And I am going out with a bang. Martin House. Don't need to talk about those guys because we all know about them. And it is an Imperial Stout with coconut. Imperial, be buggered, is 12%.
Here we go. Started with an Imperial, mediocre in the middle, and ending with an Imperial. So chalk that up. Oh my goodness me. So this was actually one in the fridge. The Wandering Drayman didn't deliver this one. So this is one I've been waiting for. Do you know what? I'll be honest, I can smell that coconut. I haven't put my nose to it. So, Martin House again, coming up trumps. We talked about them time and time again. Their pickle beers, their what did my brother have last week? He had one from them. It was that sherbet lemon sour, sherbet lemon, rhubarb and custard, and it tasted just like rhubarb and custard. It wasn't actually labelled as that, but they really hone in those tastes. They are kings amongst sours and stouts, in my opinion. Kings. But look at their artwork as well. I mean, full kudos to these guys. I think they have an in-house resident artist, and he is a genius. I love it. Every can tonight has been good artwork, but this kind of eclipses it a little bit. Look, it's almost a story in itself, and then it has this guy creeping in at the back, it's so cool. And he's hiding from him, see? It's a story. It's a movie. So anyway, getting off subject here, let's get that coconut. Oh my lord. It's like, do you remember in school when we used to get those coconut slices with jam and stuff? Well, maybe in the UK, and they had a coconut topping, and you go up to, I'm not a big fan of coconut particularly, but you could almost smell that dessert, that smell that afters, the pudding before you even got there, because that coconut, that flaky coconut they put on top, and it just really kind of hit you before you even got to the dinner lady. What you having, love? And coconut slice, that's all you getting, love. And you really kind of hit you, but oh man, that is gorgeous. Not sweet, bitter, but really pulling that coconut flavor. This is like a coconut slice in a glass. Oh man, that is beautiful. It's made in Texas by Texans, as we know. That's brilliant. 12%, emergency airlock. It's just great, There's some gumph on here. Let me see if I can read it. Oh, it's just government warning. Just warning you on health problems associated with alcohol. Okay. Yeah, Martin House, we've talked about them before, Fort Worth, Texas, and, they do all the different beers. You almost see one every other week with us, us DrayMen. So look out, you'll have another one next week probably, when the governor gets back. Look, I'm missing the old guy, or the young guy, I should say. He's younger than me. But I do, it doesn't feel right. It's just something amiss. And I'm sorry you just get me this week, the DrayMan. But, maybe that'll be the case down the road when I have another oil slick stout or something and I'm out for the count and he can take over. But, we come as a pair, I think. And sometimes it's a triple if we get some guests on, but us two, it just gels and it flows more naturally. So it feels off kilter for me. I'm trying here, but hurry up, get back, Gov, get back with it, and let's get going again next week. Get over that tiredness, get that COVID out of your system, and happy days. But this is quality. Excuse me. It's been fun doing 3 beers this week for the that's not special really, but the mini kind of pod. Hope you've enjoyed my company. I've tried to keep you entertained with a couple of there were a couple of faces pop up here and there, so it's just not strictly me, obviously. But, you know, it keeps you entertained, and I hope you enjoyed it. Just a few notices. We will probably interject with another little rugby mini coming up. England v Wales again is coming up in the Six Nations, so hopefully we'll have a little something for that. Next month, obviously, St. Patrick's Day. To see the chap, the dart for the St. Patrick's Day back in the background. We'll probably be back in the vaults, hopefully. So look out for that. And I'm gonna be posting in the next couple of days, but I'm hoping me and the governor are gonna do a bit of a Q&A session. So if you have any questions for us, please submit through the Instagrams, and we'll try and answer some questions. So that'll be fun, you know. So yeah, so, some things to look forward to this coming season, this spring, from the DrayMen's knowledge. So cheers to that. I'm going to rate this one now. I may sip the end of this and watch a bit of Cobra Kai over there to finish off, but I'm going to rate it before that. This is quality. This has been my favourite tonight. I won't lie. I am going to rate this one. I can't go lower than a 9, I'll be honest with you. These guys are exceptional. They just come through and through. A big cheers to Martin House Brewing, always on the ball. So 9 for me on this one, on Astronaut Apocalypse. I want to see the movie. Who does that look like? Is it, what's his name? Oh God, I forget him now. He's in the new Jurassic Parks. He kind of looks a bit like him, you know, on the Guardians of the Galaxies. I forget his name. But yeah, kind of, yeah, this is a good beer, and it would make a good movie. So, cheers, Dray Barrels. Thanks for the pleasure. We will be back with you and on, hopefully. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the rugby. Come on, England. Come on, Wales. And ta-ta. Where's the manager?